is okay.
Good morning and welcome to my intentional parenting journey. And if you're watching us, we are live with the amazing Lizzy Imuzeze. In fact, I want to hear this story. It's long time coming. Now, Lizzy has been here for 4 years. So the team wrote 2 years. I say, who did that? Like, are you guys joking? Hey, these are the yadas, as in the yadas, right? That started when they couldn't even understand what the yard was about. They were truckling, all right? And these are the yarders who believe that, see, I'm here. I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. This is destination. We're walking this journey gradually. It's not a destination, it's a journey. And today we have Lizzy Imuzeze. She's gonna be sharing with you her journey. You know, the interesting thing, she's streaming all the way from Canada. You know, these parents, you see them, they wake up in the middle of the night to do my intentional parenting journey. And they look so fresh, only in TIP. It's only in TIP that this happens. All right. For parents in diaspora to sit, with their time, wake up, watch these sessions, to tell you that there is something about this system that keeps you awake. Thank you so much, Ma, for joining me. I am particularly looking forward to this session because it will be my first time of hearing, some things. Have heard a lot of things. Lizzy is one of those yadas that are in my corner. Of course, she's been very, very long coming in the yard. So over to you, ma'am. Share with us. How did you get into the academy? That story. How did you get into the academy, ma?
Wow. Okay, coach, good morning, and good morning to all my people, my yadas, and everyone watching us. And I want to say thank you to coach, my amazing coach, the one who God brought into my life at such a time as this. Just like Esther, she came into that land at such a time like this. That was how God brought TIP into my life at such a time that I really, really needed it. And I want to say thank you, ma'am. I honor you. I honor you with everything in me, and I thank you for this great opportunity. Okay, how I came into the academy. Okay. Every time I'm praying about my parenting journey and I'm thanking God about my parenting journey, I always pray for two people and thank God for two people. And those two people are Auntie Etima and Coach Wendy. I got to see Auntie Etima on a friend's Facebook page on the Responsible Teen Academy. And that was when I was preparing to come to Canada. And I told myself, all these my children and their wahala, I want them to learn how to be responsible. Even though they were not teens at that time, because my son was early teens, my daughter was not yet a teen. I think she was 11. And I said, we should go and learn how to be responsible teens. So I booked them in one of Antetima's training, and I felt okay, fine. So because of that training, I also told Antetima, I had a conversation with her that this is the issues I'm having with them. And she told me about the Intentional Parent Academy. I think she also knows that this is not about the children, it's about me. So she told me about Intentional Parent Academy, and that was how I got to know about it. I had a session with coach, and then she really opened me and said, hey, woman, it is not about your children. The way she started with me, I just knew that I am supposed to be here. So that phrase that we always say, parenting is all about you. I am a vivid testimony about it, and I will always preach it any day, anytime, that it is all about you as a parent, not about the child. So through her, I got to meet coach, and from there we started, and I that was how I hopped into the academy, and I have never regretted being there for just one day.
Amazing, amazing. You have the amazing Lizzy Imuzeze, right? And she's also sharing on her journey on how she got into the inner circle, right? A shout out to Pastor Charles Imuzeze, who is her husband as well. A huge fan of mine. And somebody that I honor and adore as well. Shout out to him. Thank you so much for being here again. Lizzie is sharing her journey in the past 4 years. This will be the fourth year in the inner circle. She's in level two, but she's in she's been here for 4 years. There's even nothing of this. Oh, we want to that level. And the whole set in the third level going to fourth level said, you know what, coach, we're not doing. We're coming to level one. You're on your own with this your level. Let's go back to go and learn what it is that we are, because if you like say this the way you do,
Mm,
there's more to
mhm.
it. We're going back. It was a very funny conversation to me. So people are on their journey. Some people have been on level one for 3 years. Some people have been on level one for 4 years. It's a journey. It's a very personal journey. So Lizzie, share with us. I know that you had a lot of struggles with your children when you were just before you relocated to Canada, right? And then when you now relocated to Canada, what were those challenges? How were you able to resolve them? How did Inner Circle help you with those challenges? Over to you, man.
Okay. Thank you, coach. I am always excited to share this. I am happy because it's a story for me now. No, it's a testimony for me now that I
Mm,
can look back and say that I am still who I am today, even better, a better version of me today. I came into the academy because I came to the academy. Okay, if like I was looking through myself, I said if all my kids, my three children, were like my first son, I would feel that I am the best mother in the world. Oh, I would feel I don't need any training. I don't need any school because I had a first son who was prim, proper, obedient in bold capital letter. A child that you will say, mommy's boy. When mommy talks, he listens, he obeys, he takes correction. So I was happy with myself about him. Like the other day, coach was talking with about her son. I noted that thing that I said, my daughter is my reason for this journey. My daughter, my second daughter, oh, that she is the real definition of a strong-willed child. She doesn't listen to my own definition. She's
mm,
disobedient. She doesn't listen. She wants to do things her own way. If she doesn't get her own way, she stands to counter you at any time. And I'm asking myself, how can I have a son who is obedient, responsible, respectful, always want mommy to be happy, and I also have a daughter who doesn't want to listen? Oh my God. I was now a chronic yeller, as in yell. Even it was later I was looking at even the thing that does not deserve you yelling, I will yell. I will, in fact, as I'm remembering it, it's like the emotions are running now. I will yell. When somebody finish yelling, you are shaking. All your body is
mm,
shaking. Even when you sit down, your heart is beating. As in,
mm,
if you go and check my blood pressure that time, it would have shot up. That was the kind of that was what I was dealing with that girl. So a child who you would always yell at, she got to a stage she doesn't sit with me in anywhere, whether in the house, whether we go visiting, any opportunity she has not to be by my side, she seizes that opportunity.
mm,
And I will now go to her room. I said, everybody's in the living room. Your brother is there. Your younger sister is there. What are you
mm,
doing here? For that, I would have shouted on her for doing something, for making mistakes, for doing something wrong, according to me, for making mistakes, according to me. I would have yelled, shouted. Then she would
mm,
leave my presence. Then later I
mm,
will go and meet her. I would tell her, what's wrong with you? Another yearly session starts.
Mm.
What's wrong with you? All your bread buddies outside. You are a loner. You are alone. Oh God.
Mm.
We thank God for God's mercy, because so many things we parents say with this our mouth on our children.
Mm.
But we thank God for mercy that God had on me.
Mm.
So I started wondering and asking myself, what is this all about? So that was the period I saw my Auntie Etima, who brought me in, who I met with Coach. I had a discussion with Coach, and I told Coach about my story. And Coach said, ma'am, this your girl that is like um your enemy, Coach, or somebody that you're having issues with. Do you know she can be the best amongst your children?
Mm.
And the other one that you are saying is the good can now be the, if you continue like this. This was before the inner circle. And this was when I think we were planning. Oh, we just arrived Canada. Oh my God. That was at that stage, I was telling myself, if, what's their name? Um, Social workers want to come and carry her, they should come. If I let them take her away, let me be, I'm comfortable with my first son and my last child.
Mm.
She's stressing me. They should come and take her away. So when Coach sat me down and told me this, and I said, how possible can that be? That was where I entered into the inner circle. But the main thing that made me run, not walk, I ran into the inner circle, was I bumped into a letter she wrote to herself. And that letter killed me, broke me. A letter that was saying that I am bad, that she was talking to herself. Dear me, I know I am bad. I cannot be like my brother. My
Mm.
mommy doesn't like me. Nobody likes me because of who I am. I will try my best to be what my mommy wants me to be. If I
Mm.
can't, mommy, please just find in your heart to forgive me. I will be like you. I will be like how you want me to be. And she wrote the things like that. And I'm like, when I read, she didn't, I'm sure she didn't, it wasn't for her to, for, it was, her attention was not for me to see it. But she kept it in the place. I think I was clearing her books or something, and I saw it. I read that day. I cried my heart out, and I said, God, so really, this is what I am doing to this girl. And God answered. I prayed and I cried, and God answered my prayer. And that was how I came into the TIP. When I came into the TIP, the first thing that really struck me was that there was no connection. No connection at all. Even with my so-called obedient and good boy, I had no connection.
Mm.
I had no connection whatsoever. And it all started from back home. So as it is, that was why I came into TIP. That was why I ran into TIP. That was why I said, enough is enough for me to kill because for me, because I gave an instance of the yelling that I yell and I begin to shiver, shake, my palpitate, my heart is beating. One day again, I told myself, that's how you will yell and yell, you will slump
Mm.
and you'll just die. And they will say it's because she was shouting on her child. So those events were what the things that made me run into this arc.
Wow, wow, that was such a story. I remember, when Lizzy, got in, and we were talking about connection, and a lot of people tell me that, oh, I get into the academy for this particular child, the rest are obedient, and I tell them, even the obedient child, there is a struggle. There is a struggle. If this child is just doing everything that you're
Mm,
saying, there's something wrong in that
true.
system. So even the children that you're thinking that, this child is always obeying me, watch it. You might actually also be raising a child who cannot thrive
Oh,
just because of that system. I remember when Lizzy, kept saying, but I'm there. And I asked her a question, Ma,
hmm,
are you really there? And I think that was a turning point for her. When she started to realize that, okay, so back home in Nigeria, she always tell me that it's God that pulled her out. Back home in Nigeria, she was just busy, busy, and couldn't see some of these things. So, ma, share with us, how did the transformation happen? What has happened to this your daughter now?
Oh my God. So, thank you, Coach. I started the journey, and Connect Correct just came my plate. And that book was my first book. That was what started the transformation. That, okay, Lizzy, you have seen that this girl doesn't want to stay with you. How will she even stay with you? And even if she said Jack, you will hit her. If the other, if it was so clear, it became so clear to them that, okay, mommy likes the good boy and does not
Mm,
like the girl that is bad. It was so clear. And initially, I felt it's a payback. If she doesn't
mm,
respect, doesn't obey me, I would let her know I don't like. Oh Jesus! I would let her know I don't like her. I would let her know that she's not respecting me as her
mm,
mother, and I would ensure that she respects me, so that when I treat her this way, she will know this is the reason. Ah, Jesus. So my when I now when I read through this Connect Correct, went to the school, the academy, I started the first thing yelling, no yelling challenge. Ah, when they gave us those modalities, and I saw that me, I was 120% yeller. I said, okay, kill this one before you start doing anything. So went into the challenge, the usual me, of course, the usual mother thing. God will have mercy on us. Coming to the house, start shouting, the house is upside down. What have you people been doing? Television, watching TV, doing. I will yell, I will shout. Uh, when I came, my first year in Canada was hell for me, because
mm,
I was working. My husband wasn't here. I was working at clock. I leave in the morning. Though I still have time in quotes later in the day, those are the time I was seeing all these things. Like Coach said, when I was in Nigeria, I was working, church, because we are pastors. Then they were with my mom. So it was when I came here that I really knew that we had issues. I had issues with them, especially I had issues that I did not recognize. So as there was no time. I wasn't. When I go in the morning, I come back. The house is scattered everywhere, and I'm asking myself, "What is wrong with you?" Of course, the yelling starts. So when I entered the no yelling challenge with all the guides, I got to understand. Okay, look at this. This is why you are yelling. The triggers. Coach asked us to put our triggers down, which I did. I started looking at those triggers, and the way we solved them, how we resolved, how I was looking at those triggers, how I was sorting them out. Our the things that helped me were our guides, the plan that our the plan media plan helped me. Um, a family meeting also helped me. So we had time, we were talking, we were relating, we had time to like share. We put our guides together, what we need to do to reduce the healing, and it helped me. So that's those time, of course, we were not perfect on any sides at that earlier stage, and we're still not perfect, we're moving, but we could see there is a growth going out, coming in. Oh, the house can be upside down, but we'll talk about it. But I knew that the yelling had reduced. Then for my daughter, the changes came when I stopped yelling. A girl that within, I don't think it was up to 4 months after I joined the academy, that Abigail, I didn't want to mention, but my daughter can lay her head on my shoulder in the living
mm,
room. The first day she did it, I looked up and I said, God, I murmured it, but I said, God bless Coach Wendy. God bless Auntie Etima. I was just saying it in my heart, and I was praying, and I was thanking God, because it has never happened,
mm.
Coach, for my daughter to put her head on my shoulder and lean on me, and we are having a connection in discussion, watching a movie together and analyzing it, or talking about what the older brother did to her that she wasn't happy about. Never. But the day she did that, I knew that God had started working me. So that was how we started. And there we are here where we are. We are moving. Like I said, it is my journey. When I did my first interview with review with coach, coach was the one who said, "Oh, ma'am, you need to repeat." But the second time I repeated, I said I was going to repeat. Like, I had a reason for it. But all the same, my joy is that I am seeing progress. I am seeing progress.
Wow, wow, that was a lot. I don't know about you. At some point, these stories will have make you, get very emotional because these are real stories. They are real stories. They are not conjured. They are not testimonials that you say, oh, just come, just say it so that we can hear it. It was a mother, one of the my intentional parenting stories where she shared who lived in Germany, said she realized that her daughter had stopped calling her name. She
Hmm.
didn't know that she had lost connection so much that her daughter avoided being where she was and stopped calling her mom. So she just, passes through. And the child had left. The child had left. She didn't even know that the child had left. And it was when Lizzie started sharing progress with her daughter. Every time, you know Mrs. Lizzie and Uncle Charles, both of them are pastors in Redeem. So of course, that thing about we were sharing the other day, and I was talking to someone about pastoring, and I was saying that it doesn't matter the anointing we have.
Hmm.
You can raise the dead and raise idiots. It doesn't matter the anointing you have. So after you have raised the dead, you have anointing. You can still raise idiots with that your anointing. Because the anointing does not raise children.
Oh.
God wants you to actually learn what it is that you must do. This story is usually very chilling to me. All right, every time that Pastor Lizzie comes up with it, and it's always. And I remember sometimes when she would say, "Hey, this is my girl." I say, "We're on a journey. We're on a journey." And today it's so overwhelming, really overwhelming. I'm not going to take over this story. I'm going to allow Pastor Liz share with us what this story is about. Share with us, ma'am. How has this affected the other areas of your life?
Hmm.
Your impact journey, your workplace, your other children, and also your marriage.
Okay. Thank you, coach. It has affected me, my relationship with people. Okay. If you want to go back a bit about who I am, I was also a good child. I was a virgin. I grew up as a
Mm.
virgin, oh, virgin, a wonderful virgin, good girl, church girl, go to rehearsals,
Mm.
stay away from boys, never want anybody to touch me, keep my virginity to my husband, don't have boyfriends. I was that good girl. But I got to know that, thank God it's in the past. So I can say it. Just to make all of us know that many of us were actually foolish virgins.
Mm.
I I was a foolish virgin. Why do I say so? I am a foolish virgin because I wasn't able to say no. I grew up as that kind of child that wasn't able to say no. Of course, of course, I had issues with um, molestation, but not a serious one. I wasn't raped. I wasn't raped, but I had people older men who wanted to have their way. I knew maybe that aspect of my virginity was what made me to know that you can't. But that aspect of not saying no was any Dick and Harry can send me on an errand and I will say yes, ma, or yes, sir. Anybody can give me instructions that I would not even counter because I am a good girl. But when I grew up, it affected. It was a trauma for me. It was a trauma for me because when I started growing up, I actually wanted to parent me in my children. So that was
Mm.
where the issue with my second daughter came.
Mm.
That why can't you be like me? Yes, one of the lines she wrote on that transformational letter was, my mommy wants me to be like her. I wish I am like her. I want to be like her because that's always my, why can't you be like me? So those conversations makes her shrink. She's an A student. A very, in fact, in her secondary school, in her primary school in Nigeria, she won best students overall. So she's an A student. But when we came here and that beginning time in school, the teacher called me. Sorry, I'm diverting a bit. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
please.
The teacher
Go ahead.
called me and said, I observed that your daughter is up to date down tomorrow. But as a teacher, I know she's smart. But what is the issue? Is there any problem at home? Of course, I couldn't have said there was a problem. I said, well, I don't think so. Children are growing and all that, all that. But when intentional parenting entered me, oh, it showed in her school. I
Mm.
sent a message to coach the other day. Apart from school, she does presentation in church. She preaches. In fact, whenever she does this thing, I quickly send to coach and I'm like, coach, see what intentional parenting has done to me. Oh, I'm sitting in the congregation and watching my daughter preaching. At that time, she was barely 12, 13, which was good for me. So I am saying that intentional parenting has helped me in my trauma. A woman who is a yes to everybody. Even your younger one can send you a message, say, okay, okay, because you want to be a good girl. But when I entered into the academy, I found out that, okay, when I entered into the academy, I found out that, Lizzy, you cannot continue to be a foolish virgin and you cannot make your children foolish virgin. It was so clear. So that
Mm.
helped me. Now I know how to, with honor, thank God for honor as a skill. With honor, I know how to tell you no. And you too, you respect my no, because then I'll be afraid and say, if I tell this person no, he won't like me. If I tell this person no, that thing that I am expecting from him or her, I won't get it. The person won't give me. That is what that kind of trauma did to me. That if you don't help people, you would not get something, those kind of thoughts. So that one has really helped me now that I know how to say my no with all um, strength, and also training my children. Even recently, my son told me, mommy, your yes has reduced though. I laughed. I said, Jesus, these children. Because I was also
Mm.
forcing it on them. One person wants us to come for something. I'll say, okay, we are going, no. Let's get ready. Mommy, must we go? You're just coming from work. Must we
Mm.
go? Thank God for intentionality. These children too are training us. They are teaching us in a way. So that helped me in my own. Then it helped me in relationship with people, like I said, my colleagues at office, everywhere I walk, people always want to relate with me because they see how I work with, I'm in the health sector here. They see how I work with my clients. They see how I work with my colleagues. I come into a place where in this place they have gossips too. Oh. They talk about themselves, but they observe that I am not that kind of person. So when I'm in that place, everybody try to behave themselves because I think my emotional intelligence has also come to play. That they will look at me and they'll be like, "Oh, Lizzy." Some will even say, "Lizzy, you didn't give me my hug." They're like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I would hug them and all that. So they saw this friendliness in me. They saw this that they can talk to me. That also is one of the things I have gained being in the intentional parenting academy, and in relationship with my, okay, that's in my job and my colleagues. My marriage has also been wonderful. Yes, for 5 years. That one was, yes, we may not have been together for 5 years, the period of this my intentional journey, but I carried my husband along, and where, because there are questions where we have assignments with our spouses. Oh, tell, how do they, how has it, how have I changed? Is there something new about me or something? I will send to my husband. He will send to me, say, well, you're not here, but what I see you do is amazing and all that. So, and the way I communicate, my communication now is better. I have the listening ear. Initially, I don't listen. I was the person who has a guard in my heart. If you just say anything that I don't like, I don't allow you in. I will just block you. I'm the kind of person that does not listen to the message. I just want, and if it doesn't come my way, I don't want to hear. But intentional parenting has helped me in that, in regards to my intentional parenting. I don't know if I missed an. Okay, my other children. Oh, yes. So, my very good son, I sat down one day and I said, oh, Lord. So, Lizzie, this is how you would have killed this boy. This is how you have just destroyed this poor boy's life. Many years back, not some years back, not too long after I entered into I called my son. I said, if today I die, I won't die you. Okay, based on our yeah, the parenting launch plan. When I said, if I die today, what will you do as this older son in this family? Your daddy is not here. So if I die today, what will you do? He said, Mommy, I will die too. Hey, whoa.
Ah,
Yeah, my head. I said,
yeah,
what? Okay. There's no, if I had asked Abigail, but I'm sure the conversation didn't go that line with her. If I had asked my daughter, I'm sure she won't respond that way. But my son said, I will die too. I said, God forbid. How can you say that? So that was how I knew there is work to be done on this seemingly good son, the good son that is always mommy's did it. So we started our launch plan. That was how launch plan came. That period, the launch plan first came before it was in a book and all that.
yes.
So started. Okay. And to the glory of God, that same question came around recently, even when my husband came. Said, Mommy, I can take care of all of you. All, in
Correct.
fact, all of you. The younger ones, everybody. So the parenting academy has helped me with because learning style also was one thing we learned, and I saw it in my children. My last baby is like a combination of the two, and I had to see her in that perspective because she was a very little girl when I joined the academy. Like many of my people will say, oh, the older ones are like the guinea pig, but this one is the real intentional parent. And thank God. My children, the older ones will look at the last one and say, but why wasn't mommy in intentional parenting when we were her age? But I just explained to them it's God's time. You don't, they will tell her, when we were younger, hey, you will see shouts, you will see cane, all this one that you are doing. So I had to explain to them. I said, that's how life is. Thank God that I got to know it at the time I did. So for every aspect of my life, the Intentional Parenting Academy has had a great impact in my life. Great. I say great. I mean, when I say great, I mean great.
Amazing, amazing. Pastor Lizzy Imuzeze is sharing with us her intentional parenting journey. Pastor Lizzy, how old is your son now? Your oldest son?
18. He's 18
18.
now.
Exactly.
He's an adult.
18.
Yeah.
All right. When she joined the academy, it was about 14, 15 or
14.
so,
14.
thereabout. Yes, it
14.
was about 14. And
Yeah.
now he's 18.
Yeah.
It is interesting. This last story got me, right? What will I do? The obedient child. The child that is obedient can listen to you. I said that goodness is not a skill. Righteousness in itself cannot really save you. Apart from you going to heaven, really. So you'll be righteous, you go to heaven, no. But on earth, as far as the cosmic is concerned, you will struggle, you will suffer. And that's actually the real challenge. All right. So this child was obedient, was good. Somebody said obedience in the mud. And the child, and the child is struggling. Obedience in the portals, according to Pastor Chris Isweke. In the portals, everything in the portal. Like,
Yeah.
so you have so once I die, you follow me and die. Like Omo. Shebi are looking for follow children.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Mm. Ah.
now. Once anything happens, that's it. The child will
Ah.
just follow. Thank you so much, Pastor Lizzy, streaming live all the way from Canada. And you're listening to her journey. She's been in the inner circle for the past 4 years. She's been part of the people who started, with us in the inner circle, and she has journeyed through. When you ask me people that have been on a journey, Pastor Lizzy has journeyed through. Her journey is a journey. I think she should write a book.
Okay.
Her journey is a true journey. Honestly, when people come to me and say, the first year it was not working,
Oh.
you want to run away, as in, like, are you joking? 2 years after, we were still struggling with the second daughter. We were still doing, hey, we'll do session today. We used to do session almost every month with the Imuzezes.
Yeah.
When parents come to me and say, it's not working, you're just in the inner circle, you're just trolling. This morning I shared a voice note. I said, who unto them that are thieves in Zion? You're strolling. You're taking photo shoots inside war. When
Oh.
you're at war, when you find yourself in war, you will stand up now. You cannot be in spa. I remember having sessions upon sessions with Shia and Pastor Charles. We will sit down, we will analyze, we will reform, we will. When 10,000 lions are chasing you, you don't run like the other people are running. Are you joking? Your run will be different. Your run will be different. She will have session with her daughter will have session with Adetima. Yeah, she will have session with. In fact, sometimes Adetima will say, "Okay, this is the feedback, coach. This is what it is that have happened." I mean, for years. I'm not talking about for months. Even in the next like 1 year, yeah. Digitally asking yourself, should I not? Are you joking?
Um,
Or you even have that child, who have been obedient. You just say, now my children just listen, they're just obedient to me. Don't allow the thing fire you. Don't allow the thing fire you. Dr. Happiness is obedient unto death. Obedient unto death. And then the child even want to obey unto death. Mommy, you die, I die with you.
oh God.
Let me just be dying with you, please. This thing, I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
I don't have the
Yeah.
capacity. After all, you are
Yeah.
my source, my strength, my skill. You are
Yeah.
the only one, the Alpha and the Omega. You are the one that produces everything. You are the one that produces everything and gives me. I am just grateful to God this morning, really. I know such an amazing testimony, such a time. So if you're having a problem, you solve it. You don't bail out of the problem. You
Mm-mm.
don't bail. We're here talking about it 4 years later. This will be the first time that Pastor Liz is sharing her journey. 4 years later, we are talking about it. We're able to share this journey, and it looks like we're laughing, but you don't understand. I say sometimes I'm seeing a long chat from Pastor Liz. I say, hey, where do we start from? And then we
Mm.
say, okay, let's book a session. And we sit down and we begin to review. Do you know how many times we have to do reverse engineering? Do you know how many? There's no course Pastor Lizzie have not been part of. None. Name it. None. When something is chasing you, you run like something is chasing you. You don't go there and come and say whether you are, there or you're not. She will book one-on-one sessions. I say almost on a monthly basis. She will sit down. She will say, "Coach, how we do?" In fact, this year I was still sharing, and I said, Pastor Lizzie, I was even going to say, Pastor Lizzie, I think we are in a stable ground right now. She said, Coach, I'm still running. I'm still running. It's just that maybe the lions have reduced instead of 10,000. Now 1,000, 1,000 now coming. So your run has reduced, small. Don't be in the place, right? Don't be in the place where you are, supposed to actually be running. You're telling yourself this problem is not solved. So therefore, I will bail out of the problem. When a problem is not solved, you continue to seek solution until you get it right. I am excited about this journey. So we have Pastor Lizzy Imuzeze sharing with us on my intentional parenting journey, all the way from Canada. It is midnight and we are here laughing like it's during the day, only in the inner circle. only in the inner circle. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, ma'am. Also, let's go to the webinars. I know that you have listened to quantum webinars. Being in the inner circle for 4 years is not
Yeah.
beans.
Yeah.
It's not a spa. If you're under my tutelage for only 3 months, if your body will rearrange. 4 years
Exactly.
listening to webinars, ma'am. Which will be your top three webinars?
Okay. Top three. Yeah, like Coach said, they are all wonderful. Okay. Honor as a skill for me. Honor as a
Mm,
skill because I observed that because of my trauma, like I said, I'm always guiding against anything that comes. So even to my children, I guide against their issues. I don't allow it come near me. So that now makes me to dishonor them.
mm,
Even when they make points that make sense. As far as it
mm,
doesn't tally with mine, it's wrong. But when this course came, because like we said, it's a journey. So we learn every day. The webinars come, hit you at a particular place all over your body. I knew that I need to bring customer service home. For
mm,
me, it worked for me, and I had to teach them as well for each other. And what my issues had done, the negative effect it did in my home is that my children started yelling at each other, no respect for each other, anything to make another person looks ordinary, they do it. But I knew where it
mm,
was coming from. So we had that one hit me, and we are working on it. The respect is higher. The younger one knows who the other person is. The other one knows. It also affects their relationship with people outside, their peers, other people. So honor as a skill was a big one for me. Also, seasons of life. Seasons of life was also one big one for me. Um, I tried not to allow my past to affect my present because there is always seasons of life. There's always a season at a time. So I also used that season of life also helped me look at how I could separate because I have a big gap between my first two and my last. My first is 18, my
mm,
second is 16, and my last, she just clocked 9. So that also, and of course, the seasons has changed. And I think I want to impute that 7 years gap. I listened to that one. I said, okay. And now related it to my own family. I saw it played out. And I said, it will not happen in this one. So that also helped me to be able to put these things into perspectives. Then I can't remember if the trauma was a webinar or it was one of the teachings, but that trauma, that I've forgotten the title, but it's all about trauma. That was a big one for me as well. It transformed my life. It turned me to a better person. I think when I was talking the other time, I think I found my strength in singing. Of course, I've been a singer as a very young age. So it's now I now started noticing that, okay, why am I so much into singing? It's because I am not a bold person. I can't talk to somebody face to face. I am, I am, I was timid. But when these traumas, our the webinar on trauma came, I saw myself. I saw who I was, and that made me to say, thank you, healing from childhood trauma. Thank you, ma. Yes, that made me to know that there's something must change in my life. So this healing from healing trauma, the academy as a whole, I wanted to say before I forgot, but I now remember. I said, I was telling myself, I was telling people, I used to tell people that if you want me to sing for Justin Trudeau is the Prime Minister of Canada. I will sing for him. I will sing with all in me. But tell me to come and talk to him in 5 minutes. I cannot do it. And this was because the boldness was not there. But now, I think in April, I was asked to come and pastor a church. If it was me of before Intentional Parenting Academy, I will tell them I will not do it. I can't. When it's not to come and sing, no, I can't pastor. But God, with the healing that I went through and all that, I'm able to stand, talk to people, preach the word, teach the word to people that I am seeing. It's a big one for me. If it was me of before, I would not have been able to do it. But that's that. So honor as a skill, a big one for me. Seasons of life was also a big one, and healing from childhood trauma was a big one for me. And those all of it has helped me to imbibe such into the life of my children. In terms of them being bold, being able to express themselves. That my older son that said he would die if I die. Now he's able to stand. He can communicate effectively because I observed that he became timid. That good boy was a timid child. He cannot express himself. He can't even make friends. He was just on his own always, and that was a great negative effect of a good child, a good child. So those helped. Those were the three top ones for me,
Amazing,
amongst many others.
amazing,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing, amazing. Pastor Lizzy Imuzeze is sharing with us on her intentional parenting and shared about the webinar. Now, someone who is coming into the academy newly said, this honor as a skill. Shebi, when we just enter the academy, you will just give us, let's listen. I said, no, it's not by like that. If you listen to it just by like that, you might not be able to run.
Not
You
be able
will be
to run.
crippled. You'll be crippled completely. Recently, right? I'm looking at the inner circle parents who are coming in the new yards, and I'm looking at the conversation, the way they speak, the way they throw words, and I smile again anytime the inner circle is about to start. We have cohort A, B, C, D as we speak today, and every time that the inner circle is about to start, right? I smile because I see people at their rawness of their raw state who do not even know that they do not know. I know when I respond to them, I respond from the place of empathy. So there are some words. Somebody, threw a word, and I was just looking at. So I responded, and another other reached out to me. Say, Coach, you're so calm with the way you respond. You're even smiling. Even the person called me and I said, "This admin, you people don't know what it is that you are doing." I know, and I calmly said, "Ma, what is the problem? You don't be fight. There's no violence here. No be fight. You know, Oh, and this, I said, no problem. The admin is going to reach you. We're going to sort it. We're coming. Right? But I realized it showed me how much you grow when you pass through the inner circle.
Mhm.
There's no old yada that actually speaks like that. No, yadas don't talk like it's not a yada thing. Yadas don't true words.
You
Like,
don't
even
words.
when, no, it's not. There's a code of honor. There's a system of honor. There's something that just gives. There's just something about you. So I started to think about it, and really, it brought me to the place of gratefulness. So instead of, being upset that, some of the things that were said, I was grateful.
Mhm.
I was really grateful. I was like, wow, is this how much people grow? And I started to remember the last cohort when people came in. Some people even said, why would you want us to buy you hard copy book? The hard copy book for what? Must we buy hard copy? Is it not more expensive? You want to just collect our money? I said, no problem, calm down. It's not a problem. And I explained why. And they were like, okay, I understand now. And I said to myself, there is a conduct, there's something that happens to you in the yard.
Mm.
There's something, they're so raw. You can't be a yarder. Somebody asked me today and say, so can I now be called a yarder? I say, no, not yet. There is something until you actually go through the induction. Something shifts in you when you get into something will shift in you, and you begin to actually, it translates to every part of you. Tangibility, the way you talk to people, the way you address people, the way you address your children,
Mm-hmm.
everything shifts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everything. Everything in you shifts. So the inner circle is not just about you. No, yadas don't throw words. Charity. Yabo say, yadas don't throw words. No, we don't. There are things you can't say the way you must be able to actually look at your words and season them with salt. Is one of the things we learn in the inner circle. There's a code of honor. There's an unwritten rule of how you speak, even when you're upset about something. And these are some of the things we carried from where we're coming. These are some of the things that we carry from where we were raised.
Yeah.
And you don't even know about it. So honor as a skill is a key factor. You can't even just talk it. There's no anyhowness in the inner circle. You don't do anyhow. I say like you don't come anyhow. I'm just seeing the new yadas, just anyhow. Then somebody asked me, must I do DP? I said if you come with the must I said it's a good time to question. But if you come with the attitude of must you have a long way to go.
Yeah.
A very long.
True.
It's just it's what just all of us are coming from anyhowness. Anyhowness. And who are you to give me instructions? Why must I do this instruction? Not in the yard. I'll read you guys right out on the induction. I'm
Okay. Now.
coming. You will know that they call me Ndaboski for a reason. They call me T for a reason. When I read the riot act, I will drag you with the money you have paid to shock you. And really, and it's there. That time I wrote and I said, you guys, all of you will be all right. But it showed me. I got to the place of being grateful
Hmm.
because I realized that the normalized nonsense we see doesn't happen in the inner circle. No, it
No.
doesn't. All of those normalized nonsense just leaves you. You say people say thanks, yes, KK. All of you see normalized nonsense just leaves you in the inner circle. Many things just leaves you. It's as if your feathers are burnt completely. You are naked, but you're not ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Mm-hmm.
naked, but you're not ashamed.
Mm.
Somebody, said to me, I'm ashamed of my journey. That's why I don't want to say that I'm learning in academy. I say, Woza. In that inside the inner circle, I say, Mbano, we are bold and loud. We
Mm.
are bold and loud, not just because of the result, but because of the process.
Yeah.
There's a boldness that comes to you. Pastor Lizzy was sharing, she said, if she had been told to pastor a church some years back, she would say, I know, I can come and sing for you people, is okay. The inner circle gives you this boldness to walk. You understand the place of where God said that you are God. Is in the inner circle you are able to tap into the God factor inside the inner circle.
Yeah.
You walk so boldly. You're not saying, I don't like people seeing me. I don't like people there. I don't want to be out there. Because your enemy is bold, loud, and have money. What are you
Okay.
talking about?
Hmm.
The enemy is bold, loud, and have money. And we're just, want to do. Yeah, the inner circle will burn your feathers. You will be naked, but you'll never be ashamed. That's the beautiful thing about the
Wow.
system. Thank you so much, Pastor Lizzy Imuzeze. And she was also sharing about her son, who was the obedient child. And she said, even in that, I saw that my child was obedient, but was unskilled. Along the line, I started to now see a son who is bolder, who can take up the skills. You see, this a quiet person, and now he's trauma,
Mm.
guys,
Yeah.
trauma,
Yeah. Big
trauma,
one, coach. Big
trauma,
one.
trauma, trauma, trauma. Nobody was created to be relatable. Trauma.
Yeah.
Where we are coming from on our parenting journey is a lot. So there's always that thing you are just in the place where you are thinking that this person there's something this person is doing that no you are the one thinking that way. Trauma can do a thing to you. And Pastor Lizzy was sharing, she said, and that's how I saw my children dishonoring themselves
Yeah.
because I have just brought out anyhowness. I've just brought out anyhowness into the system.
Yeah.
And then my children are now throttling in anyhowness.
Oh God.
Everybody just does anyhow. Things are just done anyhow. I can just say anything.
Uh-huh.
You cannot be a yada anyhow. Be warned. Like you're a yada when you come out in a place, you actually bring value. She said something. She said, even in my workplace, I am valuable. See, you don't fight with strength, you fight with value, not strength of the arm, strength of the head. Your intellect, that's the strength you fight with. By the time you bring value to the table, you stop the word with value. A other was sharing with me and said, my in-laws that I have fought with for many years.
Hmm.
And I have been, she said, yesterday, a few days ago, people were seated with me and they were listening to me, my in-laws. He said it was one of the greatest when he said I was preaching parenting to them, and everybody was with their mouth open. Like, who are you? These are people who would not listen to me before, who would just talk to me anyhow, and now I've brought value to the table. The inner circle is, it gets you to the place of value. A yada is a valuable person. A yada is someone that when you see them, you know that there's something different about them. It's, a yada is not just somebody who just does things anyhow. You wake up, self, you want to do something anyhow. You want to just type something anyhow. You remember that you're a yada.
Hmm.
There's a yadaristic way of doing things.
Oh my God.
The yadas that bring these words, don't mind them. Yadas just have a lot of slang. Yadaristic. When you watch movies yadaristically,
Oh
there's a
my
way you
God.
watch movies.
Yeah.
You begin to think. Your thinking just shifts.
Hmm.
Your thinking just shifts. So I am really grateful anytime that I say, I see, quite a number of us who are just coming into the inner circle. It makes me understand the amount of work that is done in the inner circle yearly. It gives me that joy. So it helps me to see these ones are coming so raw. I see it every day in our conversations, in the things that I say. I just smile. I say, becoming. Come with the fact that your peacock feathers will be burnt completely to ashes. When you are naked and not ashamed, then you throttle from there. That's where you throttle from. Where you are naked, you must come to the place of nakedness and no shame, because there is no shame on this journey, none whatsoever. And that's the only place you learn. The place where shame is taken away.
Mm-hmm.
Where it is taken away. Not the place where you're thinking, I don't want somebody to know that I'm learning. Some people are asking me, is it compulsory that I do DP? Is it compulsory that I say, if you're asking about compulsion, inside this inner circle already this morning, we have a long way to go. Thank you so much for sharing with me, for sharing with us, Pastor Lizzy. Pastor Lizzy has been sharing with us on her intentional parenting journey the past 4 years. She has adult children, and she also have the younger ones, right? And she's been sharing how she's been able to navigate her journey, and she just shared with us what her best webinars were. Honor as a skill, the seasons of life. Coach Molola will help you and
Hmm.
show you that that thing you're thinking to do in the next 20 years, you are in trouble. Like that's what you're thinking to do. Like that's what your life will be about in 20 years. That's when you now readjust and ask yourself, okay, that's not what I should be thinking in 20 years, Abby. The inner circle will fight you. The inner circle will feed you. The inner circle will find you.
Yeah.
It's Coachella Chinda that said that. The inner circle will fight you. The inner circle will feed you. The inner circle will find you. You find you. The real you. The person you know is not you. That's the truth. The real
True.
you find it in that
True.
system. It's Antietima that said that the inner circle is like a laboratory. You come
Oh
there
yes.
diagnosed. Somebody will ask me, what is wrong? What do I do? I say, no, when you come, you take your diagnosis, right? You take, in the medical science, what we do in the lab is that we come, we actually diagnose, we put it and know what is wrong with you. Nobody
Hmm.
can even tell you what is wrong.
Hmm.
When you come, you are x-rayed. Now you by yourself, you will see what is wrong. And then you will begin to throttle from there. Thank you so much, Pastor Lizzy, for sharing with us. Please share with us what will be your three top books, right, in the academy and
Okay. Yes, my very first is connect to correct, and I want to say shout out to you and your team for the connecting tools. Oh my God, the connecting tools has been is a good way to support your connection. I read connect to correct, and that was the beginning. That was where I got to understand. It helped me to know who I was parenting, the children I was parenting, knowing them, how to connect with them, how to show them their love in different ways. And it has really helped me to know that a strong-willed child is as good as the other child and the other child. They are all best in their own form. But the only thing you as a parent must know is know how to connect with them the way they are. And like I said, the connecting tools has always been of help. Of course, it's not something I was able to do every day, but we try not to miss it. Even when we have missed one day, we try to make up for it. And I want to appreciate my last child. That's why I said she's our TIP. Is it
Baby.
secretary or admin? She's our TIP secretary and admin in my house. She's the one that will remind us of our connecting tools. She's the one that will tell us how we're going to do it. She plans our movie nights and gets our everything. Well, she plans the movie. I always tell her, I know you are the one that gives us movie, but we want movies that will teach us all these values that we learn. She said, Mommy, I know. And ever since our movie night, she has always been on point on movies. We learn a lot on it. So the connecting the um connect to correct is my number one. And raising an independent thinking child. Yes, I had to take that as one of my books because of my first son. And I thank God that we were working hand in hand to make him as disciplined and responsible as possible. He understands now what being responsible is. He knows how to go about it, and it's something that gives me joy. That when I called him again recently to say if I die or if I'm okay, I didn't even say if I die this time. I said assuming I'm away, something takes me out of this house. So he said, "Mommy, that's a diaper." And he laughed because he remembered what he said many years ago, and good enough. So that raising an independent thinking child also helped me. Then from yelling to calm was also a good book for me because I knew that I was a yeller and I needed to stop yelling. And I'm surprised. What really pushed me was when Coach always talks about the fact that I was a chronic yeller and I'm looking, this woman, really? So it's like she really spoke. She wrote that book from her own experience. She wrote it, and it resonated with me, and it really helped me also to be able to know my yelling meter, how to reduce it, my triggers. That is one thing that it helped me because I never knew. I just assumed my yelling was tenable. My yelling was normal. My yelling was okay because you were not happy about something. Even this yelling, I did it in my working place that time in Nigeria. And after shouting, I'll be like asking myself, why did I just fool myself?
Mm.
And I'm like, so yelling, yelling to come was a good one for me, and so many others. The sibling rivalry was a good one. Um, walking your child through poverty was also a good one for me. Yeah.
Alrighty, so Pastor Lizzie have shared like four. We said three. I mean, she shared five, self. She added walking your child through puberty. You know, it's very difficult for others to stay at this three. You say share three webinar, you see somebody reading, 20. It's audio colors that just continued sharing all the webinars. And you're like, calm down, calm down. It's three, we said. They said, no, coach, all of them, there's an importance that is attached. And we say book, they will say, let me just add another. There's another one too. There's this another one too, something you learn. That's what the inner circle, gives you. From yelling to calm, particularly is my journey. I also, was there where
Hmm.
just that God saved me early enough. I was delivered because my deliverance My deliverance needed to come. If
Mm.
not, there would have been a problem. I was delivered very early. I was born by a yeller. My dad was a yeller. Well, it was a yeller, right? Now, of course, he doesn't have strength. He's old in his 70s. All right. My father was a yeller. My mother was. My mother doesn't even know how to raise her voice. And then I grew up that child who was. We were not beaten. My parents didn't believe in hitting a child, but my dad would yell. In fact, he will yell to a point that you are wishing that he would just shut
You could
up.
just beat me.
Just
Oh,
beat me and shut
beat
up.
me.
Just, just keep quiet. This kind
Like,
of thing. I hope he doesn't watch this video later.
ah,
Just keep quiet, man. You don't need to just continue talking. So, and I hated yelling so much until I became a parent.
hmm,
And I saw everything, every time that I talk about this story, I say that intentions are not enough.
mm,
Wishing it is not enough.
mm,
So that intention, you must add skills, you must add knowledge. I had the intention, but I didn't have the skill. I wasn't knowledgeable enough to navigate. And until I got the knowledge, nothing changed.
mm,
And that is my story. And I know I created the no yelling challenge. And I started to share and say this is what it is that I was able to do. Many years down the line, that has been a testimony for many parents who were yellers. And many of us are coming from there.
mm,
Normalize this one of the normalized nonsense.
mm.
You still go on social media today, they tell you it's not possible to raise children without yelling. We brag with ignorance. We brag in ignorance. Nonsense that is now normal.
Hmm.
We are not happy saying it. You even tell yourself that nobody can. Yelling is part of us. You even say,
Oh,
as an African woman, we are Africans. Forget that thing. We are Africans, traumatized people.
oh God.
And we live through these our traumas. And then we just continue. When I started the Intentional Parent Academy, one of my core was to teach parents emotional intelligence. That was the core. That's how intentional parent academy started. In fact,
Hmm,
emotional intelligence was at the time the only course we were running because I was so passionate about being able to control emotions,
yeah,
being able to know that it wasn't your child who was speaking to you that was the problem. It wasn't what your children were doing that was the problem. It was
yeah,
you, how you were reacting.
yeah,
I can decide that when people tell me, coach, all this nonsense people are doing, why is it that I can decide to react how I want to react? It's my
mm.
choice.
That's
Why
true.
do I want you to make me react how you want me to react?
Mm,
It means that you have control over me, and I have a problem with that. The control is mine. I choose how to react. I remember a few months ago, few weeks ago, I was in a particular city, and I needed to change my room, and then I was talking to the manager, and I said, "No, I will not take it." And then the manager turns to me and says, "So sorry, we made you angry." I said, "No, you didn't. I chose
ooh,
to be upset. You do not have the right to upset me. I chose. It was my choice."
hmm,
So you get to a point where you're responsible. You choose. The choice is yours. When you get to that point, you're a winner in life. So it doesn't take you away from doing making mistakes. It just keeps you in the place of knowing that you're responsible for your choices, your decisions, your reactions. So you stop saying things like, it's my children that make me yell. If they don't do this thing, will I be yelling? That's ignorant.
oh
Ignorant
my
to the
God.
highest order. Please
Oh
don't be
God.
ignorant. The
Yeah.
worst thing you want to do on this journey as a parent is to be ignorant. That's the worst thing you want to do because it's going to surface and come again. A parent I had a session with recently asked me, "Where did I get it wrong?" I say, "Ma, sir, a couple." I say, "When you get into the inner circle, you will find at what point something happened. I'm not your house, but you find it on that journey."
Hmm.
So many times we find out that on our journey, we actually, you actually begin to look at things differently.
Yeah.
You begin to make choices, and your children begin to learn how to make choices. It
Yes.
starts from you taking
Hey,
responsibility.
Yeah.
All right. When I was writing the book, Raising an Independent Thinking Child, there's a story I told of my son. Anytime my children say, it's mommy that made me, I say, no, you chose. And at every point in time, you must have the discipline to agree that your choice, whether right or wrong, is yours.
Hmm.
If you cannot come to the place of responsibility, you can never solve the problem. One of the reasons why many of us are still struggling with our parenting journey is that you have not made a choice that it was you. You have not come to a decisive place to say, I am the one responsible for what has happened. There's something Pastor Lizzy shared when she was sharing. She said, my children became dishonoring, and I knew it was from me. If you are pointing fingers, you can't move forward.
Hmm.
The place of responsibility is the place where everything changes. Like Auntie Tima will say, well, thank you, Professor Sweke, ma. It is you. Ma, sir, you are the one. You are the one. If you don't take responsibility, nothing changes. So these are some of the things that you learn, all right, in the academy. And Connect to Correct, of course. Connect to Correct is a game changer. It's a game changer for everybody. It's a game changer for me. And it got me to the place of taking responsibility. Everything that is wrong in our parenting journey with our children, my husband and I have sworn to take responsibility for it
Hmm.
first. For every time that there is a challenge, my husband and I will ask ourselves, where did we miss it? What should we have done? Then you stop and then you take the lessons. And then you are able to actually, look at that's when you use failure as a skill. That's when you
Hmm.
use failure as a footstool to actually climb.
Hmm.
Provided you are shouting like Adam. Many of us are like Adam.
Well,
All of us, many of us. It's not me. Hey, the woman gave me. Hey, they gave you in charge of a garden and you're talking to her. You're saying, hey, somebody gave me. And you collected. You couldn't say no. So you are now blaming the person who gave you. The person who gave you is not the problem. The
no.
woman said, oh, it's the serpent that gave me. You chose. You made a choice. God has given these children in our hands. You choose what it is that happens to them. You take responsibility.
Hmm.
If you don't take responsibility, ma, sir, you will not go anywhere.
That's it.
So all the people that are coming to say, somebody said, oh, I don't know, I'm not particularly, proud of my journey. My children have been a mess. They are the ones. I'm coming here to come and fix them. You're not coming to fix nobody. You're coming to fix you.
Hmm.
You are the problem.
Oh, God.
And until you recognize that, nothing will change. You need to step back and ask yourself, this challenge is me. That's why we run the academy for parents. We don't run it for parents. You are the one we are coming to skin. Get yourself to the inner circle. When people
Hmm.
say, do you mentor teenagers? I say, no. Take them to Auntie Etima. Girls,
Okay.
take them to Auntie Buka. Bring yourself. Bring yourself so that you get skinned. So that you grow new skin. And then you begin to reparent yourself. It's a place for reparenting. Ma, sir, there's nothing changes until you take responsibility. Until you take, it is you that needs fixing, not your child. And until you do that, until you come to that place, you will run kitty kitty. According to Coach Ebuka, you can be in the inner circle and still be in circles. You will be in circles.
Oh, yes.
You don't be rotating and be in circles, right?
Hmm.
Because the decision is you. For
Yeah.
every mistake, for everything, for whatever it is. Sometimes our children do something. My husband and I will say, this lesson is not lessoning. We didn't teach it well. How do we rebrand this lesson to get the children to get it? To
Hmm.
get them to get it.
True.
Because if we are the teachers, you are the teacher. I like that Bible verse that, oh, the children shall be taught of the Lord. Of the Lord, not by the Lord. You are the teacher of the Lord. If my child does not know of the Lord, I am responsible.
Hmm.
It is me that should be held accountable because I am the teacher of the Lord.
The Lord.
Because it is you, the responsibility is you. That's why the Bible, God said to Abraham, I know that Abraham will instruct. I know you are responsible. It's a personal responsibility. It's not about your child. Somebody said, oh, the guys that I'm buying, are you sure that my children are already old, ma? Are you sure this guy that we did? I said, it is for you first, ma.
Mm.
Point all the fingers to you. If I'm saying buy books, it's for you. It's not for your child. Point every single finger that you're coming in the inner circle to yourself. Everything to yourself. And I'm looking at adults and I'm looking at us. We can't even take instructions. But we want our children to take instructions. How do we do that?
Mm.
We cannot read. We're complaining about books. But we want our children to read. How do we do that? You need to get to a place of responsibility. A place of saying, this is about me. And I want a change for me. That's the first place. Because if you are that person, you are the one that is created a model. Negative, positive model. If you're just somebody is saying, you're going to blame me if my child goes outside to go and learn something I didn't teach. It is you. Creation of environment is your responsibility as a parent.
Mm.
You are to create an environment for a child. It is your responsibility. So if a child goes out and learns something they shouldn't learn, you will take responsibility. It's not the responsibility of a child. Until you get to this point. Until you get to this point. Then that's when you will know that you're ready to solve the problem that is in your parent.
Mm.
Decisions, your actions. You will stop blaming your children for yelling. You stop blaming your children for not doing their chores. You stop blaming them. Because you must get to a place of responsibility.
Mm.
And this journey this morning that Pastor Lizzy has shared is a place of responsibility. She just got to a place where she took it in. I know how many times I will, blast her in a session. And I will finish. She will say, "Ma, this is my to do. These are the things I'm going to do from now." And she will run with it. If you want, you hear it today and you say, it is next week I'm going to come. It is next year. The price will be there to be paid. Anything recommendation you do not implement now, it will be waiting for you somewhere.
Mm.
This morning I was sharing with the others, and I told them about the session I had 2 years ago. I gave recommendation, including joining the academy. The parents said they went and prayed. 2 years later, we are in a mess that have messed up this girl and have left a scar in her life. A scar. Now we're talking about a 15-year-old. Then it was a 13-year-old. Something we could have corrected with simple knowledge. And we're there questioning, hey, why will I pay 100,000 and go and learn how to parent? But now she has paid thousands of naira. She has paid almost 1 million looking for solution. That same thing. And then the problem is not just that you're looking for solution. The problem is that after the solution, there is a scar, an everlasting scar on the body of the child and on your body as a parent. It's never going to, go away. It's never going to go away. So what you hear today and implement is your choice. So you don't do it today, you will do it tomorrow. Either way, you pay the price. You don't pay the price today, you will pay the price tomorrow. Either way, you do the time. Either way, you do the time. Now she's doing the time. The same inner circle, she's wondering, hey, do I need to be there? She's now there, she's waiting. I'm saying, I just need to know. But it has left a scar. Why do you need it to leave a scar? Why do you not, just get yourself in when you are to just learn? When everything is normal, why do you want to run kitty kitty?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
And I want to share. I want to begin to round off over to you, Pastor Lizzy. Share with us, what will you be telling parents who are listening to you, who have older children, who are already struggling on their journey, who already had, Pastor Lizzy had the high flying job, doing well, but of course, your parenting. See, you can have all the high flying job. If your parenting is a mess, you will not sleep well. It's not a cause.
No,
You are
it's
not,
not.
you are not going to sleep well. You will wake up in the night. And I've had cause to actually be woken up at 12 midnight when parents find something. And I'll tell them, I'm not a doctor. You wait till morning. Nobody will die. Nobody dies. We are going to wait. So you not obstruct my sleep.
Mm.
So when you're running kitty kitty, you will not be disturbing my sleep. I have a life too. So this whole process. What are you going to be telling to these parents? who are telling you, no, my job will not even allow me. This thing you're saying connection, I beg, I beg, I beg, I beg. I don't have.
Oh,
The parents that are in Japa that say, oh,
ah,
no, I need to run for the money, according to
oh my God. Yeah.
I need to make all of the money now. And you're
Mhm.
telling me to just come and be learning, this thing. Like this thing will be here for 1 hour, something. So this is what I'm going to be doing. And then
Oh
to
my
the
God.
parents who are now, there wondering, will you work for my younger children? Will you work for my older children? Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, coach. Thank you so much, coach. There's one thing that I keep telling myself about the inner circle. I said, inner circle will make you pray with peace and not
Hmm.
with fear. As a pastor and as a pastor's wife, I'm in many praying groups. When they are raising prayer points about children, do the father and die kind of prayer points. And me, I'm just saying, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Jesus. I thank you, Jesus. Thanking Jesus because I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. I am praying for my children with peace and not fear. The inner circle will make you pray with peace.
Hmm.
The inner circle um, helped me as a diaspora mother not to lose my kids because I was at the verge of losing one of my daughter, one of my children. And I wrote something here that she said, when the connection grew, she told me, Mom, I would have run away from the house. I would have run away from the house. And I said, really? Why didn't you run? That was that was when we're still having it hot. She said, because we're new here in Canada. I don't know anybody. If it was a
Hmm.
place I knew somebody, I would have run and left you. You won't even know where I am. And a lot of families are experiencing such now in this Canada, where their children just leave the house and all that. It gives you inner circle gives you peace of mind. He makes you more relaxed. I am more relaxed. When I said I yell and I'm shaking like a jellyfish, my heart is palpitating, I do check. But now all of that is over. The inner circle also makes me a mentor to my children and make them mentors to each other. And it also helps me to know who I am parenting. I just want to encourage every mother, every father, every parent, whether in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, that this inner circle is the ark of covenant. That ark where you will run to and you are saved. That is what the inner circle is all about. My own testimony will definitely be different from yours, but I just want to let you know that I have a testimony in the inner circle. I have a testimony. And when you know what the Bible says, say, come, taste and see that the Lord is good. You just come, taste, and you will thank me later. Or
Hmm.
thank all the other parents later. So I encourage all of you to come into this ark and be saved. Because the flood, even if it has not come, it will come. It will definitely come. Anything can happen anytime. I never knew I was going to be in Canada. I thought I'll be managing myself. My mom will be taking care of my children. Me, I'll be facing my work. I never knew that there's going to be a change. What do we call it? Seasons of life that will
Hmm.
bring you to a place where it's you and your children. So I encourage us, come in. The books are amazing. The webinars are amazing. The guides are wonderful. Guides that will guide you through media planning, guide you through your parenting styles, guide you through family meetings. Man, I'm telling you, this is the place to be. The inner circle is the place to be. Please, if you have still thinking with all that everybody has said, make a decision and come in right into the ark. There's still enough space. Don't worry. Coach will not lock the door.
Thank you so much, Pastor Lizzy Imuzeze. Pastor Lizzy have shared our journey with us this morning. Her journey is an emotional one for me because I know where she's coming from. If you know where people are coming from, I've had some yadas whose children are coming from the dungeon, and right now they are stars. Anytime that I listen to those stories, I am, people will say, Coach, don't get tired. I say, you don't understand. The number of testimonies I see, get tired where? I have fuel. Hey, there's a kind of fuel that I have, heavenly fuel, from the things, from the graces that trickles out from this system. I want to say thank you to you, Pastor Lizzy. I am so grateful.
Sorry,
Thank
I
you.
just remembered something, ma'am. I just want
Yes.
to use this opportunity to thank you for honoring us at Conversations with Lizzie. Thank you
Oh,
so much.
yes. It was an
You really, yes, I got some feedback, and I'm believing that many people will still come in to the academy through that
Thank you
program.
so much for the honor, man. Thank you for all the platform. Thank you so much, Pastor Lizzy Imuzeze. Thank you all the way from Canada. She shared her journey on how she moved from a parent who was completely clueless of what it is that was happening to a parent who is now a mentor parent, who is now somebody that can, come in. And she said something that is so striking. The inner circle is an ark of covenant. You either come in now or you are. You know how Noah shut the door on the 1st of December? We shut the door. No apology. We are unapologetic about that. You see that giant door? We will shut it. We'll shut the rest in. The Bible said that he shut the people in.
Hmm.
That means there
Hmm.
is something in that he shut them in to do. That's what the ark is about. So even when there is something that exempts you, there is something that exempts you. So when people say, "Oh, things are happening," how is it? The calmness you will build. You will build calmness in crisis. You will build calm. You will build.
Oh,
I say that the inner circle is where you come to parent with peace and calm. Over the weekend, my house had a tragic event. Right, had an explosion happen in my house over the weekend, and we walked out like he wasn't. There's no see. There's what that keeps you calm even in crisis. You are in crisis. You are calm. You are not agitated. No, it's mastery. It's a skill. There
mhm.
is more to it. You will see me, and somebody had just had lost someone, and see, there is something. Your emotions are so together. You are on a journey. So even if you hear that your child went broke somebody, you are calm. People are going to be wondering, what kind of calmness is this? What is it that you're just all together? You're just, there's just something, because there's something that exempts you. There's an exemption mandate in the inner circle. There's an exemption mandate. And that exemption is your ability to be in the ark. I want to say thank you to Pastor Lizzie. I shout out to Pastor Charles
Yeah.
Imuzeze. Thank you so much for the honor. I love you, ma. I honor you. Thank you for the journey. Thank you for trusting me, even
Oh,
when it looked like it was 4 years ago. In 4 years ago, we're not this many. The TIP system is now, everybody. 4 years ago, I'm sure, some people, you'll be thinking, this small girl that wants to come and teach me. Thank you for the honor. Thank you for trusting that I can be part of your journey, a part of the biggest part of your life, and I do not take it for granted.
thank
And
you so
I want
much.
to thank God for your life and for the life of the children. It is
Yeah.
a testimony. And what I love about the inner circle system is that it's just you. The inner circle system, your testimony is different. Everybody have their own testimony themselves. I have a testimony of being in an inner circle parent, and I'm going to be sharing with you on the 30th of November. I hope you're ready. You're ready for that, heat class. Somebody is asking who is going to, do be on the other end, and Tetima is going to be on the other end, interview me for the class, and I'm going to also share my own intentional parenting journey. I have a journey. I have my mistakes. I have my, struggles, but you know the difference. There's something I know that exempts me. That's just the difference. There's something I know that exempts me. And it's that exemption that we're talking about in the inner circle. Get into the act. It is going to help you. Thank you so much, Pastor Lizzie. I'm going to
Thank
let you
you.
see streaming all the way from Canada. She needs to go sleep.
Oh,
Thank you
yes.
so much for your
Thank you,
time.
coach. Thank you. I
God
love you.
love you. Thank you so much. And you have just listened to Pastor Lizzy Imuzeze, all the way from Canada, and she has just shared an emotional, touching journey. She shared how her daughter, who couldn't even stay in the space where she was, who couldn't even see her as a mother, is now able to actually be that person in the today who is now a child that she's connected with. No matter who you are, no matter where you're coming from, there is something for you in the yard. She shared how she joined in running kitty kitty for her daughter, but didn't even know that the child she felt was the good child, the obedient child, is the one that still needed, parenting, re-parenting. And here we are today, sharing testimonies. This can be you, but that's only if you can put in the work. The work is what it is that makes all the difference. And if you're here listening to me and you're asking, why should I pay money? That it's okay. It's fine. Whether it's either you pay today or you pay tomorrow, either way, you do the time. And that I know because there is time to be done. There is what you must learn. We're no longer in the place where we are going to be parenting the way that we just used to know it. Because parenting in today's world is nothing like it's ever been. And I know a few days ago, my dad was saying to me, your generation is lucky. And I'm like, what happened? He said, look at you. You guys have parenting academy where you can go and learn. We never had anything like that. And we made a mess. And he said to me, this is just me who even tried. He said, I know so many of my friends who made a mess of their children. And I can see it today in their children. Thank you so much for being here. I look forward to being with you in the yard. Registration is on full stream, right? We are onboarding. We've onboarded A, B, C, D to D. And out of everyone, right? Out of everyone who is coming on board, just know that I'm rooting for you personally. And it's not a word that I say just because I want to bobo you like they say. But it's a word that I say because I really want you to know that is a place where you can be naked and never ashamed. There's no shame at all. Whether you're starting your journey or you have reached the end or you have settled in success, there is something for you in the inner circle. I look forward to the 1st of December. And hey, you are not yet a yada until the 1st of December. After the induction, we'll yadarize you. There's a yadaristic system in the system. So no, you're not a yada yet. You're still waiting. But hey, get in. Let's run. Share with your family and friends. Tell them to come run with all of us. I am looking forward to this next cohort because it is a cohort never seen before. Please, get in and take your parenting seriously. It's not an option. Anything you make an option in one generation, you make not inconsequential in the next. Do not make working on your parenting or even your marriage an option because they are not. It is a must-have and it's a must-do. Must I? It is yes, you must. And this is so important. Thank you so much for joining me again today. And for those of you who are still asking about the pre-order books, it's still on the 30th of November pre-order ends. And of course, books are already in process of production. If you're outside of Nigeria, you will get them on Amazon soon. We're putting all of that together so that we can get them, so that you can also order yours on Amazon as soon as you can, except you have someone who will bring it for you. Thank you so much again. See you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Do not forget, anything you don't pay the price now, you pay it tomorrow. And unfortunately, do not pay the price when the door will be locked. In the parable of the 10 virgins, when the 5 virgins had gotten their oil and moved, the foolish virgins asked them, please, can you give me oil? They say, no, go and buy. They went to buy, unfortunately. By the time they were coming back, the doors were shut. May we not be late, because there is time and seasons. In parenting, I say that parenting is seed time and harvest. If you miss planting the seed, you might actually be harvesting rotten yam. Please jump in now before you come back and they tell you, oh, it's late. Will not be found late. In Jesus' name, amen. Take action. Stand up today and take action. Thank you so much for joining me, and do have an amazing day.